Yeah, I think there's a queue. There's myself and Carbayel, but he's probably next in line after us, you know. He looked good tonight, very explosive. And
hey, this is a young kid, 20 years old, with devastating knockout power, bro. This have Mike Tyson type of energy all over it.
He's about one punch away from getting hurt. So big respect to Itauma. I mean, he knew that he can get him out, and he got him out straight away. I mean, I think no one expected it to finish that quick.
Speed kills, as you know.
Speed kills.
Boxing fans went wild after Moses Itauma knocked out Dillian Whyte in the first round. Antonio Tarver praised the young fighter, saying, "Itauma is amazing and fights like Mike Tyson." He highlighted his powerful punches and maturity at such a young age. Many now believe this win proves Itauma is a rising heavyweight star, showing
he's going to give these tough guys, he's going to give these veterans a hell of a time, bro. He's poised, he's patient, and he got that knockout power. He know how to set it up. It's going to be a nightmare to get rid of this guy, man.
There's been so much talk of Moses Itauma. His talent, we've said how talented he really is. Now he's doing on the big stage, the main event. That's another level now, isn't it?
Well, we know Dillian Whyte came in here being knocked out a couple times. Wanted to see could he land a punch on this young kid, but he didn't have a chance tonight. He got mowed over, and this is a big win for a young guy. But he got to continue to fight credible opponents, and he got to get tested. He got to fight a young fighter like himself and beat a credible opponent like that, not these old, washed-up fighters that he can only just look good against. He got to get tested, too, to see if he's the real deal.
Now talk to me about Dillian. Obviously we can see the work that you put in. Such a brilliant servant to the sport, isn't it?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
For Dillian, we can see the work that you put in this camp. Such a brilliant servant to the sport. If this is the end, how good has Dillian Whyte been?
You know what? Dillian Whyte has been a staple in the heavyweight division. I think it's time for him to hang it up. He can only get hurt a lot worse than he did tonight. You know, fortunately, you know, he didn't get seriously injured, KO'd and knocked out unconscious. You know, he'll be able to take this loss and I think enjoy the rest of his retirement.
Definitely. Just before I let you go, Moses Itauma, is it time to see him in there with Alexander Usyk, or do you still think that might be too soon?
It's too soon for Usyk, bro. He got to earn his title shot. He got to beat a real contender. He beat a washed-up has-been tonight.
Ben Davidson reacted to the shocking knockout with both respect and admiration. He said it was special to see a British legend like Dillian Whyte return to the ring no matter the result. Davidson's comments showed respect for Whyte's career, but also pointed out the importance of Itauma's victory. He saw the fight not only as a quick ending, but also as a passing of the torch to a younger fighter.
Fight for the opportunity, British boxing legend. So yeah, really pleased.
We spoke about this before in the week, and let's not kind of cut over the fact that Dillian Whyte has been in with everyone.
100%.
And this was a gamble from your side, from the stepping class between, say, a Dempsey McKean to someone like a Dillian Whyte, and that was a gamble. You took the gamble and it's paid off, but you shouldn't start saying, "Oh, Whyte was whatever" now, because we didn't know what was going to happen tonight.
No, I think it's extremely disrespectful to have that approach. Like I say, nothing but respect with Dillian. Really appreciate him giving us the opportunity, and yeah, I think Moses deserves all the credit that he should be getting.
Did you expect it to come that early?
No, I didn't. Being honest, I know that he's always capable. He's a very difficult heavyweight to be in there with. Very difficult to defend against. He hits hard enough where he's hitting you with shots that you don't see, and hits hard enough to put you away with those. So I know that he can come at any moment, but yeah, he saw the opportunity, picked up on something that he'd worked on. Big shout out to Lee Wiley as well. Puts a lot of time in, a lot of effort in, and fantastic in putting together a scouting report and picking up on Dillian's tendencies for us to go away and put together some drills and rep that with Moses, and yeah, it all paid off. Everyone's work paid off.
Tyson Fury reacted to Moses Itauma's huge win over Dillian Whyte. The heavyweight champion praised Itauma, saying, "That's the future of boxing. I've said it for years." Fury's words added big credibility, showing the win was respected at the top level. Promoter Frank Warren called it a brutal and brilliant performance. He said the speed and sharpness of Itauma's punches sent a clear message to boxing. The short fight showed his explosive style and knockout power, proving he could handle the big stage against a top opponent like Whyte. Warren's praise for power and efficiency proved he had the mix of excitement and skill.
Certainly don't, and there weren't any overtime. It was an unbelievable, ruthless, short performance. Caught him with good shots and done an absolute job.
Did you expect that?
No. I fancied him to win. I thought he'd stop him, but I didn't think it would be like that.
Frank Hergovich next?
Don't know yet. We'll see what happens. No rush today. We've got a load of options, and we'll consider what we're going to do.
How do you match this guy now?
We'll match him.
But, I mean, no one's giving him rounds.
Sorry?
Frank Warren tweeted, "Moses Itauma is the real deal. We just saw something special." His words show how powerful the victory was and the effect it had on the boxing world. Praise from such an experienced promoter proved this was a career-changing win. Adeo said it was incredible to see Itauma succeed at such a young age. His view showed that Itauma's age gives him plenty of time to improve and dominate for years. Beating an experienced fighter like Whyte in this way showed great potential. Oladipo said the next 2 or 3 years could shape Itauma's legacy since he
was clearly done, and we'll get to whether or not Dillian Whyte is done. So there are going to be some that say, look, okay, what's Dillian Whyte done in the last couple of years? And these things are true, and I spoke about those things as well. But I don't want to change what the narrative was or what the narrative has been in the last couple of days. With everyone seeing the way Dillian Whyte looked and the way Dillian Whyte was speaking, I think a lot of people are like, well, 1 second, something might happen here. Let's remember that, because something did happen. Moses Itauma was just a steam train. Honestly, this guy, for 20 years of age, 20. Remember, all these heavyweights that you're seeing right now that are in their peak, are in their mid to late 30s, and most of them became world-level operators in their mid to late 20s. He's doing it as a baby. This guy is 20 years and 7 months. And, you know, I've been like around Andy Lee for the last couple of days, and it's been so good being around Andy, because Andy has told me stories of watching Moses spar Joseph Parker. And even Andy's been waxing lyrical about him. And he doesn't have to, right? This is off camera, this isn't on camera, these are private conversations. And he's like, this dude is good. Because there's been a lot of talk about if this was to go and turn into a dogfight, maybe Dillian Whyte would have the advantage. And I think I said this as well, to be fair. And Andy kind of shut that down straight away, said, no. Like, I've seen this guy in a dogfight. So maybe he's talking about the spars with Joseph Parker. But I'm just so excited about what this kid can be in the next 2 or 3 years. I am. I like the way the Americans are talking about him, because it's so hard for Brits to kind of get the thumbs up from American fight fans, American fighters.
Dave Caldwell described the knockout with one word: devastating. He said Itauma always gives his best, exciting fans with his speed and aggression. For Caldwell, this win proved Itauma isn't just about power, but also about delivering shows fans won't forget. His praise of Itauma's fast and attacking style suggested the young heavyweight could become a fan favorite.
Devastating, stunning, spectacular. You can throw all the words you want at it. It was brutal, and this is what I feared going in. I'm a bit, you know, when fighters give their all to the career, and you watch them throughout the years having wars and giving everything, like Dillian Whyte against Chisora. You saw the action with the AJ fight. You look at him throughout all his career. He always goes out there, gives everything, has a tear up. He's exciting. You know, he's a big character, big personality. And then when they get to a stage of the career where you feel as though it's that fight where where it's kind of like it's way too much for him, and it's going to be, quite a nasty ending for him, a nasty ending to a career. I was worried for Dillian going into that this would be that fight, and it was. I mean, that you don't get as it can't be any worse than that to punctuate a career, to end a career.
before we talk about what's potentially next for Dylan, let's talk about Moses. It's hard because we almost want to, I think, feel like we want to learn a bit more about him. And no, genuinely,
Yeah.
I wanted at least to see about 4 or 5 rounds, and maybe I don't want to necessarily say, oh, I'll get clipped with a few, because if you can move out
No,
the way,
you
great.
want
But
questions asked, don't you?
I want to see, if you get dragged into the trenches a little bit, where can we go here? But you don't ever get that far. So is that, I suppose, maybe the only thing you go, oh, I thought we'd have seen a bit more of him.
Yeah, that's what you want to. You want to tick boxes as a fan, as somebody who's trying to see how far this kid can go. When we get something spectacular, you want to see him have questions put in front of them and see, like you say, can they go a few rounds? What happens? Yeah, because there's still those unanswered questions that we've got. Can he carry it on throughout the later rounds? Can his feet stay sharp? Can he, does he retain that sharpness, past 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds?
Experts quickly denied that Whyte lost because of poor training. They pointed out he entered the ring in top condition with years of experience. That made Itauma's win even more impressive, as he had never fought someone with Whyte's level before. By winning so clearly, Itauma showed he had the calmness and strength to perform at the highest stage. Analysts agreed that this fight proved he is
shape. He was a bigger step up than Moses Itauma had ever faced in his career. Remind you guys, the kid only has now 13 fights. And this was supposed to be somewhat of a test for Moses Itauma. This is supposed to tell us where he was in the pantheon of heavyweight and what you can do with him next. If he is going to struggle with guys like Dillian Whyte, you can't fast-track him to a world title. If he goes out and does what he did, which is absolutely beat the brakes off Dillian Whyte, demolish him, and make it look like they should have never been in the ring together, then you have to fast-track him to a world title. You have to have him fighting the best in the world. Whether it's Parker or Cabiel, whoever's not fighting Usyk next, whether it's a returning Anthony Joshua, we'll talk about that in a second, whether it's a Tyson Fury, no one's probably going to want to take that risk right now because of their legacies, because of what's set in stone. So you're probably going to have to give him some younger, hungry heavyweights, like I said, a Parker or a Cabiel. But I'm telling you right now, it is not a matter of if, but when that kid gets to a world title, because dog, he's out here making this look easy. He is playing heavyweight boxing on easy mode right now. And it's not because he's boosting the sliders. It's because the competition just is not there for him. They tried to give him a step up with Dillian Whyte, and he made it look like a walk in the park. Let's talk about the fight. They both walked out. By the way, Styles P on the walkout for Moses Itauma, him as the voiceover saying, the future isn't coming, the future is here, the future is now. That's some big fucking balls. I'm talking 2 grapefruits hanging in your shorts to walk out to your own voiceover.
After the fight, Itauma spoke humbly. He explained that he had been boxing since he was 9, always focusing on improving in the sport instead of chasing fame. His words showed true love for boxing, wanting to be remembered as a great fighter, instead of a celebrity. Fans connected with this honesty. Itauma's focus
on shopping, something like that. I've never been a person to focus on that. My goal was never to be a superstar or to sell out Wembley, or that's never been on my agenda. Me personally, I've been boxing since I was 9 years old. It's just something that I do. If I don't box, I feel out of place. I don't feel comfortable in myself. So I'm chasing that thing that I've always had as a little kid, and that's just to be a fighter, and everything else kind of falls into place, doesn't it?
Anyone with seconds out, question for Moses. You referenced in the pre-fight build-up that you felt that Whyte was as per the rules. Sorry.
Ron Goodall tweeted, Moses Itauma used his feints well, did exactly what he needed, and got his best win yet. His words showed Itauma's smart skills and calmness under pressure. Using feints showed maturity, and shining in such a big fight silenced doubts. This became the biggest win of his career, marking a turning point. Another analyst said many believed Whyte's experience would test Itauma and make the fight last longer. Instead, Itauma's quick knockout shocked everyone. This surprise made The win even bigger, showing he could handle the pressure and beat.
We've got something here. Maybe we can, maybe he can go a couple of rounds. Not saying he's going to win, but maybe he can go a couple of rounds and, you know, pull something out. You know, maybe just be competitive. We've questions of Itauma that we need asked. Maybe Dillian Whyte is the guy to ask them. All right, and that's what we're thinking. Maybe, right? So, you get the fight week. And Dillian Whyte is very much in a, you know, it's the Itauma show, and being very respectful to Itauma. Now, some people were saying maybe that's Dillian Whyte trying to play mind games with Itauma, lull him into a false sense of security. Others were saying maybe it's him checked out. Again, I was kind of like, nah, it's probably him just playing the mind games. He'll probably get taken out, but Itauma will go rounds. Dillian Whyte weighs in. Career lightest, or no, sorry, not career lightest, but lightest he's been in a decade. And I spoke to a few people in Saudi who were there today and said that they think the scales were a little bit off and that he actually could have been lighter, right? Believe it or not. So everyone was buzzing for this. Now, I did say, I think yesterday in the video I did, that maybe Dillian Whyte, could he have taken the weight off too soon? Could he be a little bit weak? Who knows, right? But either way, we go to the fight tonight. They're both in the ring. Dillian Whyte looks on it. And here we go. It's fight night. Now, from the get-go, the speed was a problem for Dillian Whyte. Itauma was just too fast. You could see it. That hand speed, like that. It was just phenomenal. And you're just like, oh God. For me, you could see the writing was on the wall.
Buddy McGirt, Whyte's coach, gave an honest breakdown of the fight. He admitted Whyte was caught clean by Itauma's punch and couldn't recover. McGirt also supported the referee for stopping the fight, saying it was the right call for Whyte's safety. Most importantly, he said Itauma has what it takes to become a future world champion. Coming from such an experienced trainer.
What's your immediate reaction to the fight? What do you think went wrong tonight?
He got caught and couldn't recover, basically. You know what I mean? If that's all you can say, you can't say nothing else. You know, got hit with a good shot, didn't recover, and the referee did what he felt was right.
A lot of people will obviously say, you know, was it the inactivity? Was, you know, is he still in his prime days? All that kind of stuff. Sometimes take the credit away from Moses. What do you think?
You know what? Right now, my mind is like blank, to be honest. You know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, my mind is blank, to be honest, right now. I mean, I don't want to say anything out of character, so not in a bad way, but you know, like your mind is going 1,000 times right now. So, you know, I'm just gonna hang out with him the rest of the night and enjoy the rest of the stay here in Saudi Arabia.
Just a last word on Moses Itauma. How good is he from what you just saw ringside, close up?
Listen, I know the kid is good. I know he can fight. You know what I mean?
Speaking after the fight, Ben Davidson said he was proud of how Itauma handled the moment. He stressed that the victory was not just about raw power, but also about focus, planning, and mental toughness. As a trainer, Davidson highlighted the hard work that went into preparing Itauma for this fight. He said the win proved Itauma belongs on the big stage. His comments also hinted that
you'd have worked sort of tirelessly over the last few weeks over the game plan. Was you surprised with how early it went with that?
No, we knew there was an opportunity of that. Like I said there, Lee Wiley lost his mum through that camp, so really appreciative of the work that he always does. Put together a scouting report, picked up on Dillian's tendencies to a T. You know, we repped it, drilled it, and Moses went out there and executed it. So, fantastic job. And as we keep saying, he's a very, very difficult fighter to get through the rounds with, and you know, without taking punishment. He's hitting you with shots that you don't see coming. He hits plenty hard enough to hurt you with those shots. So, yeah, we like I say, knew it was a possibility, but yeah.